Hello, today we're focusing on Cambridge AS Music Setworks for 2024. So of course, both sections A and B have to do with your setworks for Cambridge AS listening. So regarding the listening paper, the first section will really just revolve around Baroque music, Baroque listening, and equip you to be able to compare various recordings of Baroque music and to make informative comments thereon. For instance, after dealing with the two setworks that they have given you for this year, one being Handel's Water Music in F major and the other one being Bach's Violin Concerto No. 1 in A minor, once you have dealt with both of those, as well as listened to various recordings thereof, you'd be able to make some comparisons between different recordings, also regarding different performance practices. For instance, some recordings you may listen to would be in Baroque pitch, that is 415 Hz, or it could be in modern pitch. So it could be played on very period-specific instruments or modern instruments, or it can be a complete reimagined type of recording that you listen to. Maybe you listen to something played on keyboard, but of course that's not what we're trying to go into here at the moment, and that's not what Cambridge is trying to let you wrap your head around here. But by all means, you can go ahead and listen to some crazy recordings and some new imaginations if you would like. But for this purpose, for section A, Cambridge would really just like to introduce you to a Baroque style and also different types of Baroque performance practices that we find in this music and different types of realizations of this music, so that you'll be able to answer the other things that come up in section A. So in section A, you will be getting a brand new unseen, unheard piece. You'll be getting the sheet music, and then you will be getting two recordings or two versions thereof on the CD that Cambridge will give to you. Now this is a bit different from IGCSE level. You don't have to answer the questions systematically or in any particular order. You can answer them at your own leisure. So you're allowed to take the CD that Cambridge gives you and listen to it at your own pace, because you will be given a CD personally. So for each candidate that does this exam, Cambridge provides a CD. So if you're 5 in the venue, if you're 10 in the venue, you will get either 5 or 10 CDs, and you will get one personally. So you will just need a listening device, a device that can play the CD, as well as you will need earphones or headphones. So as I said, you will be given an unseen, unheard piece. You will need to answer questions thereon, and all your experience with your Baroque setworks, and it's only 2, all your experience with that and listening to different versions of your Baroque pieces, your Baroque setworks, should be helping you in these questions. You will only literally be asked 5 marks on the specific setworks that you have studied for this section, and that being one or the other. So you will either be asked questions on the Bach or on the Handel. Now in November 2023, all past papers, so past paper 1-1, 1-2 and 1-3, all had to do with Handel's Water Music, and they ask questions such as, what is the name of this movement? They give you a little extract, a little excerpt from the piece from Handel's Water Music, and they ask you questions surrounding movements, where could this come from, what is the time signature of this movement, could be name a character indication in other cases, which instruments play here, describe the music that either would come before this extract or excerpt that you hear, or after this extract or excerpt that you hear. And basically it'll be short and sweet questions, no need to go into detail here, and that's why Cambridge's notes on these setworks are also somewhat thinner and less dense in the section B setworks. So here you will literally only be needing to answer questions that will add up to 5 marks for your setwork in section A. Now, of course, a lot of work does go into learning your setwork, preparing your setworks, and you might think, why does Cambridge only ask me 5 marks? But remember, it's not just about preparing your setworks and learning things parrot fashion or parrot style. It's really to equip you to apply your knowledge to all types of Baroque pieces, and that's why they are giving you an unheard, unseen piece, so that you can apply your knowledge that you have learned from your Bach and your Handel to this unseen or unheard piece. And section A will count a total of 35 marks. So as I said, 5 of which will be specifically about your setworks, and then the other 25 will be application of what you know about Baroque music and Baroque performance practice. Then we move on to section B. Section B is the big essay question. So in terms of looking at the paper as a whole, Section A counts 35 marks, Section B counts 35 marks, and Section C counts 30 marks. So of course Section B counts the most. It is the most out of the total of the exam, and this is where you can really get your marks by studying your set works, knowing them in and out, and then applying your knowledge to the questions that they give you. So Section B, as you would know, is all about themes. So the theme for this year happens to be myths and legends. And luckily for us, the theme is a continued theme, meaning this theme has taken place over 2 years. So everyone doing the exams for 2023 and 2024 has had the same theme. And that means when you look at past papers from 2023, we can actually get a glimpse into what Cambridge has asked before on these very specific set works. Same goes for the Section A set works. We have examples of past questions that Cambridge has asked according to these very specific set works. Next year it will change, so that'll be a bit different, but we are very fortunate to already be able to have these past paper examples. For instance, if you are writing in the May-June session now in 2024, this can already help you straight away. And of course, we will have another set of past paper examples when we get to the October-November sessions, because then we will just look back at the May-June session of 2024 to be able to get a larger pool of past paper examples. So Section B, an essay question. So here you do have to follow all your recommendations about essay writing, as in you need an introduction, you need some body paragraphs, and always link it back to your topic. Then, of course, you need to end off your essay with a conclusion. And for me, I would really just say that the limit for your essay, about 3.5 pages. That is what Cambridge gives you. They sort of give you a half a page to begin with, and then 3 full pages on which you may write your essay. And most people really do use that first half page to do some sort of draft, to do some sort of writing, squiggling, whatever they like to do, and then they start from the very top of the next page and write 3 pages of an essay. I would say you can either do that, or you can write up to a limit of 3.5 pages, perhaps a minimum of 2.5 pages, but of course no more than 3.5 pages, because there is no more writing space after that. So our themes of myths and legends this year sees that we have 3 composers, 3 very mystical composers. We have our Grieg, we have our Rimsky-Korsakov, and we have our Debussy, all having something to do with myths and legends. So we have our Peer Gynt suite, we have our Scheherazade suite, and we have our La Cathédrale, which is for solo piano. Now, in these questions, Cambridge won't ask a very specific question, as in Section A. Here they do give you the opportunity to broaden your knowledge and to explain to them in very glamorous detail why you are saying what you're saying. So you may elaborate on your points, and they do give you space in which to do that. So I've looked at all past 3 past papers from November 2023, that being paper 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. So I've looked at a few past papers from 2023, and I've collated a total of 8 essay questions that we may look at and start practicing on in order to get ourselves essay fit and writing fit regarding our set works for Section B. So of course I can only ask you on your 3 set works that you know. You're not allowed to speak about anything else here, only your 3 set works, and always refer back to your topic. So they can either ask you something on one very specific set work, and if you like that question and really like that set work, then go ahead and answer it. But more than likely, the essay question that's really going to do you well and really going to see you through to a higher level of marks would be the comparison question, where they ask you to speak about 2 of the set works. Never before have I seen him ask a combination of all 3 of the set works, because usually there are 3 set works every year that goes along with a certain theme, and the most that they've ever asked you to do within one question is to compare 2 of the set works. And maybe 2 of the 3 do seem more similar than the other one, and so you can already think there, I wonder what they're going to ask. But today we will look at 8 past questions, and then we can also start thinking what else might come up. But definitely practicing these 8 questions will help you and really prepare you for what may come up either in May, June, or October, November 2024. So I'm going to link the PDF version of all the questions in the description below. I do only provide a space for you to write 1 essay, but feel free to print this out as many times as you need to, 8 times if you must, and practice all 8 of the questions. So question 1 says, discuss the use of instrumentation to suggest characters and events in Rimsky-Korsakov's Scheherazade. So this is the Scheherazade suite, and you need to refer to passages from any two movements. Now, Cambridge does highlight and make bold their specifications of how many movements they would like you to discuss in a particular essay. Please do not vary from this. Listen, read, and comply. So if they say two movements, please do only discuss two movements, even if you love the whole Scheherazade suite, which I know I do. Only choose your best two, your favorite two here, and especially if you can think about the story and characters and events and which two movements actually speak to you more about those things in particular, the more meaty things that can come from a specific movement or here, two movements. Please just choose those two and then write about them. Then we have question 2. How is melody used in Debussy's La Cathédrale, as well as in any two movements from Grieg's Peer Gynt Suite number 2? So here, they're not asking you to compare anything. They're really just asking you, how's melody used here? How's melody used here? If you would like to, you can go ahead and compare it right at the end of your essay, but they're actually not really asking you directly and flat out in this question to do so. So they will not be able to subtract marks from you if you fail to do so. But in all honesty, I must say this is not one of my favorite questions. If it was between the first question and this question, I would definitely choose the first question, even though it only focuses on one work and two movements within the work. I would rather go ahead and discuss what I need to discuss there than discussing in this very abstract style, melody here, melody there, with no comparison between the two. But that's just my personal opinion. You can do whatever you like. In the next question, it says, describe some of the different ways in which Rimsky-Korsakov uses the two opening themes in any two movements from Scheherazade. So you need to think about your Scheherazade suite here. How do the opening themes work in some of the movements? And then choose the two that you would like to discuss here. And there you'll go. Question 4, compare, this is a comparison question, compare Debussy's use of the piano in La Cathédrale with Grieg's use of the orchestra in any one movement from the Peer Gynt suite. So here you're going to compare Debussy's La Cathédrale as a whole to only one movement of the Peer Gynt suite. The next question, compare how the composers imitate Middle Eastern dance music, very interesting one, in the festival in Baghdad from movement 4 of the Scheherazade suite, and also movement 2, which is the Arabian dance in Peer Gynt suite number 2. I like this question. This would be one that I would definitely choose. So it's a comparison question and it all has to do with Middle Eastern dance music, and there you can definitely compare the two respective movements from each of the set works. The next question. How do dynamics contribute to the descriptive aspects of Debussy's La Cathédrale as well as Peer Gynt's Homecoming movement, which is the third movement from Grieg's Peer Gynt suite? So here again, not so much a comparison question, but speak about dynamics here, speak about dynamics there. The next question. Discuss how contrast is achieved in Debussy's La Cathédrale as well as in any one movement of Rimsky-Korsakov's Scheherazade. So again, discuss contrast, and never the twain shall meet. And then we have our final question that I've outlined so far. Explain how changes of mood are achieved in Solveig's song. And this is the fourth movement of the Peer Gynt suite. And then they're also asking you to discuss one other movement in the Peer Gynt suite. So yeah, they're giving you a choice. You can choose movement 1, 2, or 3. And then you definitely have to use Solveig's song, which is the fourth movement. So yeah, you definitely have leeway to write what you'd like, but you have to keep it logical, you have to keep it sensible, and you have to keep it concise. For instance, if you have 2 points to make sure that you are making it nice and thorough, but that you are just keeping to that point within a specific paragraph. Don't write 5 points, or don't write 10, or don't write 1, but then sneakily refer to something else later in the paragraph. If you have a new idea, please start a new paragraph. So of course you will have your introduction, as I said before. You will have at least 2 body paragraphs. You can have more. And then right at the end you will have a conclusion. But just before your conclusion, I would recommend that you have an opinion paragraph where you really state something that you think is relevant, something from your opinion, and you have to back it up with facts. Facts from the music, facts that you remember from your Cambridge notes. They do give us a whole content summary of what we need to know about our AS set works. So please do study that. It will help you so much, especially in this section. And of course, for section B, you are able to listen. meaning you are able to take in your own unedited CD recordings of your set works into the examination room. So this is where your own little CD player or musical device will come in handy. So of course, yes, for section A, Cambridge will give you a CD that you need to listen to, but in section B, you can listen to the CDs that you have prepared. So you can have 3 separate CDs, each with unedited versions of your set works on, and then you can listen. For instance, if you know you need to listen to Solveig's song, you just need to hear it once more, or you just need to listen through it and maybe just speak about changes of mood in a very specific way, and maybe in a way that you haven't yet thought of, or you think something in Solveig's song is going to prompt more ideas and more things that you have studied and prompt that memory to come to the surface, then you are able to do so. You're able to use those recordings for whatever you'd like in your exam, even if it's just for background music, though I would not recommend doing that with background music in an exam, but do use it very specifically for the purpose of answering your questions and applying your knowledge appropriately. So if anybody would like me to do a video specifically answering one of these essay questions, please do leave me a comment below. I would not even mind doing all of them if that is so required. But that is it from me for now regarding your AS set works. So that's for section A as well as section B. Now we do know that section C has nothing to do with set works, but that is also an essay question, and there it's all about connecting music, so it could be literally about anything. More on that in a future video, but for now I hope this has helped you understand questions that could come up regarding your AS set works for 2024.